the idea of data centers. First of all, just with Anderson County, how did this get brought up to y'all's attention in the first place?
Well, because it is a national and a state issue right now. I think the commissioners and I just felt like we needed to be proactive, be transparent with our citizens and let them know, how we feel. And one of the things is the lack of information. The data centers are showing up everywhere now. I think, I showed an article back on May the 4th where I think 140 are proposed and maybe 83 already that are either being built or have been built in the state of Texas. So the major concern is, what will this do to our water? How will it affect our water? That's the major issue in East Texas right now, because we've got a number of issues that we're dealing with to protect our groundwater. So being proactive, the commissioners and I don't have the authority. The legislature hasn't given us the authority to regulate like zoning ordinances out in the county, like a city would have. So we have very limited authority to regulate a business that wants to come into our county. And I want to, make sure that our citizens understand that. But at the same time, we're trying to be a voice for our community and join with our community, just like in some of the other issues with water that we faced. We had over 6,000 protests on some permitting at our groundwater district, and we're still having issues, trying to resolve some of those issues. So with we actually are doing a petition. We adopted, the commissioners and I adopted a resolution back on May the 4th. And this is a pause. In other words, we're asking the governor and our state officials and our state agencies to pause on the data centers until we can get more information. Hunt County did this, and I've talked to them a little bit. I think some of the other counties are doing similar, or, the way they feel that their community wants them to approach trying to get more information. Right. Some are just taking a flat no. I don't think we have the authority to say that, because I'm not going to, and the commissioners are not going to say something that we can't enforce. We don't want to bluff our way through something, okay? But at the same time, we need to be a voice for our community. And so we did a petition that's online today on our website. You can go to www.co.anderson.tx.us, or and that's our new website. It's there near the top, right next to the burn ban notice, and you can actually sign the petition if you would like to, as any of our citizens, to be part of the petition, just to say we want to pause on the data centers. We want more information. One, we want to know how it affects our environment, what it'll do with our water, and any kind of environmental issues that we need to know about. At the last meeting, I actually had a picture. There was Senator Halsey in Congress was talking about the data centers. Every time he goes home, he hears about data centers, and he doesn't have enough information. So I think it's one of those things where there needs to be some transparency. We need to know what these things are going to do to our communities, how they're going to affect our citizens health-wise. We've got health and safety issues. We've got environmental issues and water issues. So, right. You don't want to trade your quality of life just for the sake of having tax base, because I'm sure there would probably be some tax base and there would be some revenues. But, there's got to be a balance there.
Say, had you not read that article, would this be on the commissioner's court? Just because it's a lot of people are talking about it just in general, but was that what spurred it, I guess, for you?
Well, I've been watching social media for some time, and this is nationwide, like you said. Multiple states, cities are turning them down. You've got people that are some entities are signing NDA agreements, and then they turn around and the citizens are all upset because they didn't know about things. So this court's been trying to be transparent to let people know and let people be involved. The petition itself has no statutory authority, okay? It's more of letting the people join with us to be a voice for our county together.
And say, this is how many people who want a pause, just in general.
Right.
And so, given, say if the state sees that, what do you think the benefit of a pause may be? You kind of discussed it for a second, but at least as far as transparency goes, as far as making sure, and if they do make a data center, it's up to speed, it's not taking all y'all's water, is that some of the things?
Right, and there's different companies that are doing these things different ways. I know I talked to some in a neighboring county that are doing a data center. One of the things that sometimes they ask for, with all the money that's involved in these data centers, sometimes they don't ask for a tax abatement. A tax abatement agreement is the only thing, and it's a contract between the county and any kind of business that's coming into our county on where we can set limits. We can have restrictions and things through that contract. Mm-hmm. But right now, I'm more concerned with how that's going to affect our environment. And I think that's what the commissioners are feeling too. We've been talking to our Natchez Trinity Valley Groundwater Conservation District, had some permits that were requested back over a year ago. Mm. And then we asked for them to pause on issuing those permits. There was actually some things that Sanderson Farms filed a lawsuit, and there actually is a court order in place now that they have a limit of 3,000 acre feet for permits, and so that was an agreed judgment. One of our district judges entered that order, and it's still in place. But they were going to take suggested in Anderson and in Henderson County, about 48,000 acre feet of water that were out of these wells that were being proposed in both counties. And of course, it would have affected Anderson, Cherokee, and Henderson County, as well as some of our neighboring counties, Smith County and Freestone County and Leon County have all kind of joined together to oppose this. And we filed over 6,000 permits. Right. Protests. We filed over 6,000 protests with our groundwater district.
Wow.
And so, they were listening, and they've got legal counsel that's helping them, and then they worked that out with Sanderson Farms to put a pause on that. And so, of course, the Natural Resource Committee at the legislature has held hearings, and so we've got our state reps. Mm-hmm. Cody Harris has been involved in that. Trent Ashby, they both sit on that committee, and Robert Nichols was involved too. So, I think everybody understands that the water is a major issue in the whole state of Texas right now. See what's happening in Corpus Christi. I don't want Anderson County to become a Corpus Christi where our wells are going dry, and we basically, our economic development is shut down. We've got people moving here, and we've got water systems that are trying to do new wells. Mm-hmm. To expand their water systems and capability to provide water for some of these new users. And so it's a major issue. The main thing is letting our citizens know that we want to stand with them, be proactive, and protect our community. That's one of our main, I think one of our main responsibilities is to protect our community. And groundwater is, and actually surface water are both important. Mm-hmm. To how we function as a county and for future generations, for our kids and our grandkids. And the thing about it is when a data center or something that's going to use groundwater locates across the river or down the road, they're still pumping water out of the creeks or Wilcox. So all of these data centers that locate in our area could affect our groundwater. Right. If they're taking groundwater.
One thing we didn't touch that I just looked at my notes on, you can go online to sign the petition. Where in person can you go? You can go to the annex here?
Yeah, we've got a table out here in the front lobby of the annex near the tax office. When you go to where everybody knows they go to register their car or pay their taxes, then it's right there near the water fountain, just before you go
Anywhere
over
else?
there. We're
Frankston,
gonna
right?
have one in Frankston. I've got to get the petition up there to the Frankston office. We'll probably do that by tomorrow at least.
Okay.
And then the county clerk's office, in his front vestibule, the front lobby where you go in their office, he's gonna have one there on the counter there.
Okay, good deal.
And there may be some other people that, the commissioners have them, they may have a place out in the county that they're gonna, be collecting signatures too. So all 4 commissioners have petitions too.